Trench Crusade just got its map out. And maybe this time around I'll finish this video without giving a reason for the gendarme to break my door open. But let's go back to Trench Crusade. The map is out and it's a horrible map. It's terrible. I'm going to be honest, it sucks, and it sucks for like the weirdest reasons. It's not like it's badly drawn, it's that it makes the world of Trench Crusade seem illogical. Imagine this, 800 years of fighting the demons of hell, the forces of hell, until the world goes to, I don't know, hell. You get it. And the map looks like this, with hell barely just doing anything. It's like, oh, well, they took this part of the Gibraltar, but, you know, it's not that much. They took this part, but again, it's not that much. It seems like everything's just sunny in the other parts of the world, which is kind of weird if you just listen to the lore, read the lore of this world. But it doesn't end there. It's not just the situation in which the world is, it's the decisions in making this, because boy are they bad. Now I'll start with one of the tame ones, and that is the coat of arms. They use coat of arms for the countries and regions and whatever. It makes sense. In a way, it makes sense. Except if you look at Wales. Somehow Wales has the misfortune of not having their coat of arms, and they have their flag. The flag that was created in like the 60s or 50s. You know, that instead of their coat of arms, when they have a perfectly functional coat of arms that could have been used. And it's a historical coat of arms, so it's real, and you could just use that one. And it's pretty cool. It's like 4 lions. It's like very Lannister-like, and it looks pretty cool. But no, they decided to go with the flag of Wales, which it's badass in its own right, but it just amplifies a big problem with this map. And now we're gonna go to my favorite part, the problem with the Romanian aspect. Because you see, what is Romania, or Wallachia in this case, is kind of weird. It's weird because it's just the southern part of current day Romania, I guess. Anyway, this Wallachia portion is lacking Transylvania and Moldova. Transylvania is clearly in the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and whatever is of Moldova is the Cossacks. Because again, they took inspirations from the real world, and they just decided that there's no way in hell Romania can have Bukovina in an alternate universe either, so they just gave it to the Malo-Russians. Excuse me, the Ukrainians, Cossacks, whatever you want to call them. But that's a different issue. No, and they put the emblem of Romania, and it's the pre-2016 emblem. The pre-2016 emblem is pretty much like the current day emblem, is just lacking the crown. The crown was taken off because of the commies, the fall of the monarchy, but that doesn't matter. It's that emblem, and it wouldn't really be a bad thing. It's stupid because again we're going back into the modern day world that they're using, but no. It's the current day emblem. The current day emblem has, you know, a collection of emblems on it. It has the emblem from Dobroja. It has an emblem for Oltenia and the Banat, Oltenia și Banatul. But the worst offender is that it has the emblems of Transylvania and Moldova, 2 regions that are not part of Wallachia. This is utterly stupid. It's moronic. During the history of Romania, the emblem got modified to include the new regions, and somehow they decided to just use the current day icon emblem because why not? I guess that's a smart idea. Let's be honest, nobody cares about Romania, the vassal of Europe and the America. There's no point in caring about it in wargaming either. But we're gonna move on from that. Remember I told you that Moldova is part of, you know, the Cossacks, the Ukrainians, Malo-Russians, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, they really wanted to prove how good they have it, and they created the Principality of Kiev. But it's not Kiev written normally like we would write Kiev. It's the special way that they want to write Kiev after, you know, the war started. And that's a little bit, you know, kind of virtual signaling there. That's like calling Turkey by its that weird name they want to have right now is still Turkey. But, you know, sure. There's also problems if you look at the more Middle Eastern parts. For example, Mecca, the holy city, is pretty much protected in the game. Okay, it's fine, it's safe. But then there's Medina, which is another holy city that, much as Mecca, was promised by God to be protected, and that one just fell. That one is just part of the forces of hell, and the Sultanate just did nothing. Nothing at all. It's part of hell. And you might think that, okay, this is kind of weird, but Jerusalem also fell, right? Yeah, because of the Templars. But Medina is interesting because the Sultanate did nothing to get it back, when presumably, and apparently, I don't know for sure, I'm not a Muslim, Medina is like the resting place of Prophet Muhammad. That's where he's buried. And remember, this whole game happens after Muhammad's death, so presumably he's still there, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Like, what? It doesn't matter in what way you look at this. It's messed up. It's stupid. And it's funny because they're using, like, real world things to try to build up this thing, but they're failing miserably. This could have been the moment to world build stuff, you know, to show where No Man's Land is. No Man's Land is very important if you know the lore. That's like where all the battles happen. But it's not marked on the map. And that's very important. You want to have that space. You want your players to know where they're fighting. But no, it's not marked on the map. There's nothing there. It's like trying to find a human when looking at Hassan. Well, you're not gonna find one. And this just adds to how bad this is, because this was supposed to be the pure moment. This was a proper explanation of the world, and it's not. And it proves one huge flaw with Trench Crusade, and it's one that I've realized after reading the lore so many times and after trying to keep up with it. It's that Trench Crusade's story and the whole thing about it overall is as wide as an ocean, as a friend of mine will say, but as deep as a pool. And it's not even a pool. The water is so shallow that the only way you could probably drown or die in it is if you somehow decide to dive directly in it, only to meet the cool concrete below. That's really it. In life, we are the architects of our own doom, of our own destiny, and of our own, well, choices. Many people have gotten, you know, upset at the map because it's Eurocentric. But at the end of the day, that is the fan base that Trench Crusade wants. And you know what? If you're gonna put your hand in the fire, you're gonna have to learn that it burns, and no one's gonna be there to stop you. So have fun, I guess. Of course, now I have to end it. Include the shilling, you know, like, comment, subscribe, rate, and I'll see you in the next one.